Hello again, guys, and welcome to another episode of OTR Vantage Point, brought to you by On the Range Podcast, wherever you are. Thank you for making this part of your day. And today we're going to talk about goals, long-term intentions, and how to see them come to fruition. Give you the best chance of doing that. But before we do that, make sure you do us a favor. And you go to kelleydefense.com, warhog.com. Check out our industry partners. All kinds of promo codes, great companies, many of them veteran-owned companies, doing a lot of great stuff. Almost all of them support the outreach that Rick and I do. Support us with product, get the word out, do all kinds of stuff, especially with the LEO and the military training. A lot of times those are free, so keep a lookout. Go to those websites, kelleydefense.com, warhog.com. Check out our training calendars. A lot of times, guys, if you have some friends or family who are law enforcement, military, a lot of times those training dates, a lot of times they're free. Make sure while you're there, you also check out OTR On Demand. It's your one-stop shop. Your video training catalog, starting to populate that quite a bit, and I'll tell you why. Also, become a member of our Patreon group. A lot of fun. Great international crew we got there on the Patreon page. Go to patreon.com/On the Range Podcast again. Patreon.com/On the Range Podcast. Again, wherever you are, thank you for making this part of your day. We're just so pleased that you guys tune in, support the show, give us some feedback, enjoy our social media platforms, have a lot of fun. Big week. Many of you know what I'm talking about. Many of you know what I am talking about. The Firearms Training Notebook. If you're watching on Vimeo, Fire TV, you can see the cover there. Rick and I on there. Just super proud of it. The Firearms Training Notebook. 1% Better Every Day by Warhog Tactical and Kelley Defense. It was a brainchild of Rick and I for a while now. Didn't really start getting into the weeds for maybe about 3 weeks ago. And man, we wanted to get it out there because we have some events coming up. We want to pass these out, get the feedback from the military law enforcement guys that we're going to be working with. But we are super proud of it. Super proud of it. We're also starting a hashtag along with the Firearms Training Notebook. Try to create a hashtag where a community of folks can come together, like-minded, who want to get better at manipulating, using their marksmanship, a firearm. They want to get better at it. So go to Amazon. It's available now. There for a while, we were the #1 new release in a couple categories on Amazon, in the U.S. anyway. But that hashtag, those of you watching us on video can see it, hashtag TFT, Tango Foxtrot Tango, notebook, spelled out. Post your training on there. Send it on to social media. Use that hashtag, no matter where you're at. LinkedIn, Facebook, IG. Yeah, man, super proud of it. It's not going to wow you with a bunch of whiz-bang stuff, but I can tell you what it does have. It has a lot of good prefabbed drill pages. It's also got the Warhog eval in there. There's a lot of QR codes in there that will zip you to a video or a page that will explain things, show you exactly what we're talking about. Also give you a lot of training ideas. Don't know exactly where to start? Zap those QR codes, go right to those pages and those videos, and you're right there. As a matter of fact, Rick and I are releasing a couple videos today. Go check those out. Give you some ideas on how to use a pro timer in your dry fire. Yep, it can be done, guys. Some good, tangible data that you can annotate into the Firearms Training Notebook. Again, super proud of that. We're always spitballing, throwing things back out. You know, we're going to talk about goals today. One of our goals was to add to and change for the better military and law enforcement marksmanship training. We wanted to make it better. We wanted to help. And I think this is one of those ways that's going to help. People tell me all the time when we say, hey, you writing this down, you taking those bits of information with you so you can plan your next training session, know where your deficiencies are. Never thought about that, Mark. Well, now we can give you guys something. We can give them something. You can go to Amazon, you can buy it. See exactly what we're talking about. Start identifying those deficiencies, how you can clean things up, become more efficient, and be quicker and more accurate immediately with this book. Guarantee it, guys. Super happy, super proud. And thanks for all the support from the folks who have already purchased it. It's doing very well. But we're just tickled to death about it because we want to get it in people's hands. We want to get it in people's hands. So we're talking about goals. Talking about goals today. In the firearms training notebook, there's also a shooting goals portion in there. So you know exactly what you're striving for. Why? Those questions why come after you know what you're trying to do. It's easy when you're talking about a lot of things like, hey, I want to be healthier. I want to get fit. Well, why? Well, I want to look better. I want to feel better. I want to be healthier. I want to have longevity in my activity, those kind of things. But it can apply to all kinds of stuff. Most people don't even know what they're doing. So if you don't know what you're doing or what you want to be or where you want to go, what your intentions are, how in the world can you do something every day to get closer to it if you don't know what it is? But there's a big piece of that, guys. Big piece to that when we're talking about goals. Write it down. Rick and I talk about this all the time. Write it down. There's a number out there. You can fact check me on it. Less than 2% of Americans write their intentions or goals down. And the funny thing about that is Rick and I say this. If you do that, if you write down your intentions, you write down your goals, you have an 80% chance, studies say, of accomplishing those goals, of reaching those goals. 80% just by simply writing it down. Because when you do that, you tell yourself that you're serious about it. This is real. I want to do this. You have a journal like the Firearms Training Notebook. You write something down. Now there's something physically sitting there that you could be ignoring. It's harder to do when, number one, you want it, and number two, it's materialized in print. You wrote it down. It's a place that you're moving towards. It's a destination that you're moving towards. And once you have that realization and you write it down, those thoughts, they become different. They become different. There's something that you can fail at now or not work towards every day. It's a choice. You wake up in the morning, you have a goal written down. It is a choice whether you do something today that's going to move you towards that goal, whether it's fitness, whether it's shooting goals, whether it's business. It's a choice whether or not you're going to do something to move closer to that, or you're not going to do something to move closer to that. It's a choice. Then the next step is to plan your day, to add that piece of doing something to move towards a goal. You have to plan your day for it. You have to write it down. Break it up into little bits. What am I going to do today? Well, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm going to work out tomorrow. Okay, then you do that. You make a choice. Now, the hardest thing is you have to continue that and just not go back to what you were doing before. So it's different. Now you know what you want to do. You know where you want to go. You started planning for it because you know the steps that you have to do because you wrote them down. These are the things I have to do in order, not necessarily, but in order of what I need to do to reach that goal. You work out tomorrow. Now you just have to not do that the next day. And then once you start doing that and you start reaping and seeing some of the benefits of it, then that becomes your norm. That becomes your habit. Not just getting up, going and getting a latte. No, you get up and you work out and you drink some water. Then you have your avocado toast and you go to work. So now that becomes your habit, especially when you start seeing results. Then now, with those results, you see emotional feedback get back into it. You feel better. You're like, man, I'm feeling better. I'm looking better. I did one more push-up than I did yesterday. I ran 30 seconds faster today than I did last week. So now the emotions get into it. It makes you feel good. Now the loop starts to come around to that. That's your habit. Now you start to master that. You start to tweak that. It becomes addicting. When we first got this on the range podcast, Warhawk Tactical Kelley Defense stuff going, it becomes addicting. One or two people say, man, that was a good show, good content. You start reaping those rewards. That's your norm now. So think about that. 80% chance of accomplishing a goal by simply writing it down. Well, it's easy when you say, hey, I want to make $1 million. That's easy. Okay. So you write that down and then you start thinking, well, why do I want to make $1 million? Well, I want to buy a bunch of crap. No. Usually it's because, hey, when I get older, I don't want to be strapped to one city. I want to have movement. I want freedom. I don't want to have to work harder to get my kids to go to a school. And then when I'm at the end of that, I don't have nothing left. I can't travel with my wife. I can't spend time, take the kids on vacations, the grandkids and all that stuff. So it's not really always that initial thought, well, I want a Lamborghini. Well, it might be, hey, I want to have a Lamborghini. Okay, well, how are you going to get that Lamborghini? That's when you start planning out your day. You start seeing some success. You get emotionally attached to it. You start reaping the rewards. Now the emotions, it becomes addicting and becomes a habit. Tell me what you think, guys. Maybe I'm wrong. If you have a better plan or you think writing it down is not the way to go, let us know. Leave us, hey, that's a rhyme. Leave us a comment in the comment section. Make sure you check out all the OTR universe, Warhawk Words Wisdom, the wildly popular On the Range podcast, Warhawk Tactical Kelley Defense, and of course, OTR Vantage Point. Make sure you go to kelleydefense.com, warhawk.com. Check out all those promo codes in the industry partners. Save yourself a boatload of cash. And don't forget, I know a lot of housekeeping at the beginning, but man, we're excited about this book. The Firearms Training Notebook, available now on Amazon. Make sure you go and check that out. Buy yourself a copy. Great gifts. Here's another thing too. LEO training staff, military training staff. Talk about accountability. Hey guys, tomorrow when you show up for roll call, you show up for your range session, your quals, bring your notebook with you. Bring your firearms training notebook with you, and let's see what you've been doing all year. See if we can help you plan your next training. It's just a great tool, guys. Great tool. We're super happy about it. But again, have yourself a great week, and thanks again for all the support. Make sure you check out that Patreon page and go out there and have a great day. Take care, guys.